What's going on, Read My Lips people? We are back. So today I just wanted to talk to you guys directly. Just me and you directly. Look, I know we all have our favorite candidates, and I know we support our candidates. But you guys got to go hard. Now, maybe you're saying, hey, Cereus, I go hard already. What are you talking about? But I mean, you guys got to go hard. Let me talk to you. This is your time. This is it. This is it. You can't let this opportunity fall by the wayside. You got to give it your everything. You got to give it your everything. Whether you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, whether you're an Andrew Yang supporter, you got to give it your all this time around. And I'm specifically speaking to, right now in this segment, the Yang Gang. You guys stick by Yang hard. And I have a ton of respect for everyone in Yang Gang. But you got to go hard. And I say all this because as of right now, the mainstream media in Washington and that whole bubble, they're begrudgingly accepting and dealing with Andrew Yang for the moment, for the time being. Okay? They're like, oh, this guy, oh, he's still here? He raised how much? Oh, Jesus. Fine. Bring him on. Fine, yeah, bring him on. He's got a lot of grassroots support. He's got a lot of internet support. He's got momentum, right? But let's just be clear. They don't want Andrew Yang. The establishment does not want Andrew Yang. Look, they shit on Bernie Sanders every chance they can get. Every chance they can get. They hate that man with a passion. Okay? They fucking literally change the hue of his skin to make him seem sicker and put blotches on his face. When they hate somebody, when mainstream media hates somebody, when establishment hates somebody, they go all in. And you guys got to go all in too, even further. Right? So Marianne Williamson was on The Hill Rising. Okay? And they asked her a ton of questions, and I'm not going to get into everything they asked her. Watch it on The Hill Rising. The whole video they did, if you want to see that. But I'm going to speak about a particular part of the segment they were doing with her, right? And she said something that rang so true. She said herself, Tulsigabbard, and Andrew Yang are all marginalized candidates. I have the clip here. We're going to watch it, and then we're going to come back.
Ms. Williamson, final question for you. Well, who are the other candidates in the race do you think that are being marginalized, aside from yourself and Tulsi Gabbard?
Well, I think to some extent, Andrew's hanging in there because he's been able to raise the money, and they're kind of begrudgingly kind of letting him in more. But there's this definite, even the word outsider is so interesting to me, because outside what? Mm-hmm. There's not supposed to be this political elite. But political parties aren't even mentioned in the Constitution. To be qualified to run for president, according to the Constitution, you have to be 35 or older, born here, and have lived here for 14 years. So this idea that only people, the Constitution, if they wanted to say, had to have been a congressman, had to have been a senator, had to have been a governor, then they would have. And they didn't for a reason. They were leaving it to every generation to determine for itself the skill set most necessary to navigate the times in which we live. Even someone like Tom Steyer, they will accept a billionaire businessman as kind of one of them.
Yeah. So what she says is 100% true. And it even slips my mind sometimes because they're not, like, they smear Bernie, right? But they don't outright smear Andrew Yang, not in the same sense. They try to ignore him. They try to not take him serious, okay? And they don't want him there. They want an establishment candidate there. Let's just be clear. The people want Andrew Yang. Us. We want Andrew Yang, okay? His ideals align with ours, okay? But the establishment, they don't want Andrew Yang. They're waiting for him to drop off. They're waiting. They are waiting for Andrew Yang to drop off, right? They're begrudgingly dealing with him right now. As they're like, oh, well, I guess he's got the fucking money. Okay, we'll put him on stage. Oh, that's nice. You know, they don't hate him. They're sort of annoyed. Because, look, he's an outsider. It's true. It is true. He's an outsider. He's not from the Washington establishment bubble. He wasn't knee-deep in politics his whole career and has finally sprouted forth to go to the next stage of his political career as president. No, he was an entrepreneur, and he's running for president. He saw how messed up we were and decided, I have to change some things. And ran his race. And so they're dealing with him. They're gritting their teeth. And they're just waiting for him to fall off. Because he is an outsider. And he does not align with their ideals. You think the establishment wants universal basic income? They don't want that. They want the status quo. They want things as they are. Right? So they don't hate him as much as a Bernie, but they don't want no Yang. They don't want no Yang. They don't want any Tulsi. They don't want Marianne Williamson. You know, they'll be fine with the Biden. Yeah, we'll take a Biden. We'll take a Biden. That's fine. They'll be fine with a Biden. They want a Pete Buttigieg. Right? They'll take an Amy Klobuchar if they have to. And in the right circumstance, if the moon aligns correctly, they will take an Elizabeth Warren. Don't get it twisted. She's got some progressive policies, but they will take an Elizabeth Warren. You think they want Andrew Yang over Elizabeth Warren? Then you're sadly mistaken. She'll play ball a lot easier than Andrew Yang, because he's running on some things that make sense and that he wants to implement that is possible without a whole bunch of loopholes in it, like the wealth tax. Okay? So, you know, I made this video to sort of revitalize you guys. Almost as a reminder. Because Williamson reminded me. We cannot slack up. We got to donate to these candidates. We got to push them. We got to talk to people. We got to convince them. Right? My man Russell from Grassroots Yang Gang goes out talking to people, and he calls them yanging them. He's yanging them. Right? He's converting people to Andrew Yang, to become Yangocrats all the time, constantly. All right? We got to keep that same energy. Because Williamson is absolutely right. Right? They didn't go nuts on him on the last debate. They didn't have, you know, their claws out at him. So it sometimes slips your mind, like, you know, oh yeah, they cool with Yang. No, they're not cool with Yang. They're only dealing with him as long as he keeps hitting those check marks. Like, oh, okay, I guess you got the money. Oh, okay, I guess you got this. Okay, you got that. They'll keep stringing them along, but at the end of the day, they don't really want them. And we're going to have to do our best to get the candidates we want in office in there. We cannot slack up. We cannot slack up. And look, I know Yang Gang goes hard, so I know you guys got this. You guys are not going to slack. You guys are going to push with everything you can to get Andrew Yang in there. Look, it's to the point. I try to read, I get hundreds of comments, but I try to read everybody's comments. Trust and believe. Throughout the day, if I get the chance, I try to read everybody's comments. There's a ton of you saying, if Yang doesn't get it, I'm voting for Trump. There's a ton of people saying that. A ton. More than a lot of you probably realize. There's a ton of people saying, if Yang don't get in, I'm voting for Trump. And you know, Bernie Sanders supporters were the same way. There were a lot of Bernie supporters that were the same way. Right? And probably still are this time around as well. They were the same way in 2016, and they're probably, you know, thinking the same thing this time around as well. Right? So, yeah. Go hard. Go hard or go home. Go hard or go home. On another note, before I end this video off, Bernie Sanders finally did come out in support of Tulsi Gabbard. He had nothing but kind words, and you know, shot down anybody making any claims that she's a foreign asset. So, you know, good on you. I know Nina Turner came out earlier and said something, but people were really waiting to hear from Bernie. And several hours ago, he did come out in defense of Tulsi Gabbard. So, as I knew he would. So good on him. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I also have Venmo and PayPal in the description below. If you feel like donating, any and every little bit helps. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.